Alright, we'll start with prayers today. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahiyam Dadati Svapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langahite girim yatkripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram Shri Gurundina Tarinam. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Very happy to be with all of you this morning. Can you all see and hear me clearly? Just confirming. Okay. So yesterday we had discussed in depth about the meaning of the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.10. And what are we going to do today? Today we are going to discuss the purport of Srila Prabhupada. So requesting devotee to be ready, whoever wants to read. I'll once again recite the verse for myself. Nayadvataschitrapadam hareryasho jagat pavitram pragranita karhichit yadvayasam tirthamushanti manasa nayatra hamsani ramanti shikshaya. Okay, so now we need to read the purport. So purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Her Grace Dayamai Radha Prabhu, you can start.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Crows and swans are not birds of the same feather because of their different mental attitudes. The fruitive workers or passionate men are compared to the crows, whereas all perfect, saintly persons are compared to the swans. The crows take pleasure in a place where garbage is thrown out, just as the passionate fruitive worker take pleasure in wine and women, and places for gross sense pleasure. The swans do not take pleasure in the places where crows are assembled for conferences and meetings. They are instead seen in the atmosphere of natural scenic beauty where there are transparent reservoirs of water nicely decorated with stems of lotus flowers in variegated colors of natural beauty. That is the difference between the two classes of birds.
Thank you. Alright. So dear devotees, yesterday also we saw what is the main difference between crow class and swan class. And here Prabhupada is bringing it out very clearly. Yes, the crow class are karmis. Of course, you call them karmi. Karmi is a very respected word. In the Shastra, karmi means who performs fruitive activities like karma kand and enjoys the result of those fruitive activities. Such a person is called karmi. Karmi also means those people who are responsible to perform their Vedic responsibilities as per the Varna Ashram, but they enjoy the fruits. Kripana phala hetava, as Lord Krishna tells in the Gita. So karmi is a very respected word. So do you agree today's materialists are karmis? What do you think? Are today, the materialistic people today, the society members today, are they karmis? What do you have to say? No, they are not karmis. No. Karmi is a very high terminology for them, or a very high expectation from them. The normal populace in this world, in Sanskrit they are called as Dvipada Pashu. Very unfortunately, they are categorized as cats and dogs. Yeah. Even the Shastras say, till the time one doesn't follow, first of all, one has to learn, follow, and apply Manusmriti. One is categorized as a Jantu, not a Manushya. It is not enough to have simply an akriti or form of a human being. It is equally important that one performs kriti or the activities of a human being. Yeah. So then when who performs the activity of human being but is attached to enjoyment of fruits, such a person is called as karmi. So crow class people or the swan class people, Prabhupada is mentioning a very beautiful word to understand the difference. He calls it attitude. Yes, and with the teachings of Prabhupada and following the acharyas, I would like to introduce a terminology, is the taste that they have. What kind of taste you have? Taste for what? Taste of how you spend your time. Suppose you have free time, now it's your vacation. How do normal people spend time? That day Sachidanand Prabhu gave a beautiful shloka. It's an amazing shloka that is still ringing in my mind. Kavya Shastra Vinodena Kala Gachanti Dhimatam. Yes. A person who's Dhimatam, an intelligent person or the swan class people, what such a person will do? Kala Gachanti. How does he pass his time? Yes. Kavya Shastra Vinodena. Such a person will study the Shastra and apply the Shastra. He would live by the teachings of Shastra. This is the swan class people. Right? On the other hand, Vyasanena cha murkhanam nidrya kalahena cha kalahenava. Murkhanam, that is the crow class people, how do they spend their time? Such class of people do three things. Vyasanena, they are into some intoxication. Yes. So they do all varieties of, they are drinking Saturday night party, late night party. They are drinking liquor, smoking cigarettes, sometimes unfortunately even taking drugs. Yeah. Or going to chai parties, coffee parties, that is also intoxication. And then Nidrya, they waste their time sleeping a lot. They sleep a lot because they don't have any tangible responsibility. The work they go to, they are not interested in going to work. They are interested in the money, the remuneration you get. Right? And or else if they are not sleeping, they are not intoxicating, what are they doing? They are simply fighting. Kala henava. Kala. The age of Kali. Right? It facilitates this particular quality. So people are engaged in indulgent fighting with each other. So what kind of taste you have is something that you will definitely be inclined to when you are given free time. Okay, holiday, Saturday, Sunday. How do you spend your time? That determines what category of people we are. Yeah. So one may ask Prabhu, Prabhupada says that materialistic people are crow class and devotees or the saintly people, they are the swan class people, right? Then what class of people we are? Any guesses? Right? We are not swans yet. Neither are we totally crows, but we are actually crows trying to get some white feathers. That's what we are currently. But this Srimad Bhagavatam is Paramahamsa Samhita. Regularly, if we keep listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, daily we are coming to classes, we are paying attention, we are developing that taste. The very fact that you're all coming regularly, I can see so many of you today in the class. It's so very inspiring. So number of swans are growing. Hari bol. The swan mentality will grow. That swan attitude will come when we perform this act, simple act of paying attention to the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Alright. Okay, dear devotees, we'll have Her Grace Bhakti Sundari Mataji reading next. Please read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Nature has influenced different species of life with different mentalities, and it is not possible to bring them up into the same rank and file. Similarly, there are different kinds of literature for different types of men of different mentality. Mostly, the market literatures which attract men of the crows categories are literatures containing refused remnants of the sensuous topics. They are generally known as mundane talks in relation with the gross body and subtle mind. They are full of subject matter described in decorative language, full of mundane smiles and
Simile. It's
metaphorical
called simile. Upama, right? Similes.
yeah, sorry, please forgive me.
No, no, no
Mundane
worries.
similes and metaphorical arrangements. Yet, with all that, they do not glorify the Lord. Such poetry and prose on any subject matter is considered decoration of a dead body. Spiritually advanced men who are compared to the swans do not take pleasure in such literatures in the moods of passion and ignorance, are disturbed under the sorry uh, pleasures in such dead literatures, which are source of pleasure for men who are spiritually dead. These literatures, in the moods of passion and ignorance, are distributed under different labels, but they can hardly help in the spiritual urge of the human being. And thus, the swan like spiritually advanced men have nothing to do with them. Such spiritually advanced men are also called Manusha because they always keep up the standard of transcendental voluntary service to the Lord on the spiritual plane. This completely forbids fruitive activities for gross bodily sense satisfaction or subtle speculation of the material egoistic mind.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. So first of all, if you see in the society, reading is a habit that is imbibed by intellectual people. They spend time with books. Reading is a very important activity, and even the successful people in this world, it is said they do three activities on a daily basis. They read, they write, and they talk. Talk as in like they give some kind of address in the gathering. These are the three habits of successful people across any sphere of life. People do this. So reading and writing are in itself considered activities of very intellectual people, right? So reading, now even if you go to the sections of reading, right, you go to the libraries of this world, there are many big libraries, university libraries, there are libraries at the airport, yeah, there are bookstores across different corners of the city. Yes, so there are famous Higginbottoms and many famous joints are there where people go out to read. Libraries, they take library memberships and people like to read different books. But out of all these books, these are all spiritually dead literatures. That's what Srila Prabhupada has very beautifully brought out. Even there are online reading portals now. There is Audible app. There's an app called Blinkist. I didn't know about it. I was just interacting with His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. He was merciful enough to give me some time, personal time. So I was interacting with Maharaj that how do you come up with so many creative ideas? He says that I go on Blinkist and the materialistic people, they have so many ideas. I just add Krishna. These people have, they are spiritually dead. We can awaken any idea by adding Krishna to it. And that's what, where people are, we need to present them accordingly. Yeah, so he's doing a very fantastic job with that particular thought process. And he even advised me that you can go on the Blinkist and just see how the materialist people are thinking. And yes, many a times these people, they really want to go beyond the mundane materialism. They want to go little beyond, beyond this eating, meeting, sleeping, defending. But very unfortunately, they don't have that information. Yeah, they just speculate, because when you don't have information, what will you do? When you don't have Guru Parampara's mercy, what will you do? We speculate. Okay, so many of them speculate their own ideas. Okay, breathing is God. Okay, this is God, that is God. I was attending my mentor's meeting, His Grace Kalakant Prabhuji's meeting this Sunday, and he was telling that I would like to share some reflection from his yoga class. So now he's 72, so he wanted to invest a little more time by learning proper yoga. So he went to the yoga school. He went there to the yoga classes, and there he found that 99% people, they come to the yoga class, it is yoga for bhoga. Of course, I have told this many times, so Prabhuji confirmed it. It is yoga for bhoga actually. They are coming to simply improve their digestion and have better sex life. That's it. Nothing else. They are not there for any other spiritual purpose. And even the yoga teachers, they are speculators. So they themselves want to feel the silence, they feel the divinity. Actually, it is Vishnu or Narayana or the Paramatma in the heart. We say Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadaram Gagana Sadrisham Megavaranam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Hriddhyana Gamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanaatam. So it is Yogi Hriddhyana Gamyam. So whom are the yogis actually meditating upon? Or that's that particular silence, that divinity, that spark. It's the super soul. But they consider it is us. That is our true identity. My God. So much of speculation is there. So speculation kills the divinity. That is why Gyanis, they in fact go away from Krishna even at a faster rate than the Karmis. Because they speculate. On the other hand, if we read our Shastra, our Prabhupada books, they are spiritually alive. That is why we feel a divine experience which we will not feel by reading any other book. It is not possible, especially if somebody has read Srila Prabhupada's books. You will not have taste for reading anything else. The taste goes off. Because we are spiritually active beings. Nahi kaschit chanamapi jatu tistati akarmakrit. Karyate avashyak karma sarvat prakriti jargunai. We are spiritually active beings, and similarly we all expect that spiritual substance around us. So when we read something, we want something spiritually active. And what is the principle that makes anything spiritually active? It is the presence of Krishna. Yes, it is the presence of Krishna that actually is giving life to even this body. If Paramatma were not to be present in this body will just drop dead, because it is inhabitable for the soul. In the Mahabharata, we hear a story of, in the last day, Krishna had told Arjuna, Arjuna, please get off the chariot. And Arjuna says, no, Krishna, you first get off, I'll follow you. Krishna says, Arjuna, you get off, then I will get out of the chariot. Krishna, you go first, then I will come out. Krishna shouted at Arjuna, says, Arjuna, just step out, listen to what I say. And as soon as Arjuna got off the chariot, Krishna got off the chariot, and as soon as Krishna left the chariot, that chariot, it just burst into pieces. Because that chariot had been shot by various arrows of the opponents, which actually had meant to completely destroy this chariot. But it was Krishna's presence that was holding up the chariot. And the moment Krishna gave up the chariot, it was gone. It just burst into pieces. And the same thing happens to all of our bodies. When the Paramatma walks out of the body, Upadrishta Anumanta Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeti Chapi Yukto Dehesmin Purushapara. So this personality walks out of the body, that's it. It's game over. It's game over for the body. So the soul is forced to leave. The soul is forced to quit the body. Very unfortunate, but happens. Right? So spiritually alive principle is Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam, because this is the most active literature because it is nothing but Krishna. It is pure Krishna. Yeah. On the other hand, other spiritual literatures are dead. Similarly, other societies where Krishna is not glorified, that society is dead society. Spiritually dead society. On the other hand, our society is grounded on the principles of Sankirtan. Krishna Nama, Krishna Shiksha, Krishna Bhakta Sangha, Krishna Prasad. Prasad is active principle. It's alive. That is why somebody who is taken accustomed to taking prasad will not have taste for any other food. You will not get the taste. There are acharyas, bhakti, our Gaur Kishordas Babaji Maharaj, sometimes people used to take, please take this prasadam, just to test him. He would say, this Krishna has not eaten this. I cannot accept. There is no Krishna there. Yesterday also we discussed this. Annam mutram jalam vishtam. Jalam mutram annam vishtam. Yadin Vishnu naivedyam. You don't offer naivedya, bhoga to Krishna. They are nothing but stool and urine. That's the consciousness of Vaishnava. It is not offered to Krishna. It is sin. Yajna shishnasinah santam uchyante sarva kilbishai bunjete tu agham papam. Ye pachanti atma karanat. Somebody is not offering bhoga to Krishna, is eating only sin. And that is why Vaishnavas, they partake only remnants of Krishna. Some people are proud. We taste Krishna's Adhara Amrit. Adhara means Krishna's lotus mouth, and Amrit means the nectar from Krishna's mouth. In that consciousness, we should take prasad. We will all do Ekadashi Paran today, right? So I guess in India they're following Ekadashi, but the US, Canada, North America, we are going to do Paran. So the Parana time, we should see that this is Krishna's Adharamrit, and then meditate on a spiritual desire that we want. Taste for the holy name, taste for Srimad Bhagavatam, taste to serve the pure Vaishnavas. So this taste we take. Similarly, in that way, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur also says, he used to say that Prana haite se hetu prachar. If someone's not preaching, that person is also spiritually dead. If you have life, we should preach. And what did he talk about preaching? He said one should preach always. And when required, open his mouth. Which means preaching is mainly through what? Through one's actions. That is why Sanatana Goswami, what does he glorify Haridas Thakur? Achara prachara namera karo dui karya. Tumi sarva guru tumi jagatera arya. That's how he glorifies Haridas Thakur. He says some people only practice nama. They simply chant and they keep quiet. They don't do prachar. Some people do a lot of prachar, but there is no achar. They don't chant properly or they don't behave properly with the Vaishnava sadachar, the Vaishnava behavior. But what you do, achara prachara namera kara dui karya. You are very good at preaching and you are a good example also. And that is why Tumi Sarva Guru, you are an ideal inspiration or the spiritual master of everybody. Tumi Jagatera Arya. Yes, you are the most spiritually civilized person in this entire world. Yeah, that is a glorification. Yeah, so we have to be spiritually alive, and the way we can be spiritually alive even in this spiritually dead society is by everyday chanting sincerely and associating with Vaishnavas while hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, being with all of you, it's something that makes me alive for the whole day. Right? This inspires me. Oh, you have spoken something, now you are supposed to try to follow. Right? So that is something that pinches me. Oh, you are speaking, so many are hearing. online, offline, everywhere people are hearing now, they'll come and check whether you're following or not. Start following. So Pracharya inspires or rather imposes me to do some acharan. Behave properly. Chant properly. Yes. That really helps. Yeah, so everyone should preach. Please try. All we can do is just try to once a week or maybe once a month hold a half an hour reading with some group of devotees and just read Prabhupada books. And whatever you're inspired to share, any example, any analogy, any Prabhupada's pastimes, just share that. And you will see a very, very, very deep satisfaction in your heart. Many times devotees tell Prabhu, we forget what we hear, what we learnt. We are not able to remember anything. Why? Because we are not putting it to application and we are not sharing it. You don't use it, you lose it. That's what happens. Let's further continue. Okay. Sachidanand Prabhu, you can read one paragraph.
Social, literary men, scientists, mundane poets, theoretical philosophers, and politicians who are completely absorbed in the material advancement of sense. Pleasure are all dogs of the material energy. They take pleasure in a place where rejected subject matters are thrown. Accordingly to Swami Sridhar, this is the pleasure of the prostitute hunters. But literatures which describes the glories of the Lord are enjoyed by the Para Mahamsa,
Mahamsas.
who have grasped the essence of human activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I just remembered a shloka from Bhagavatam. I'll just share this with all of you. You can all read with me. Saswan tantra na kalpasit yogakshemam mamechati ishasya hi vashe loko yoshadarumayi yatha. Someone like to read? Yes. Raksha Mataji, you can read.
Hare Krishna. She wanted to look after my maintenance properly, but because she was not independent, she was not able to do anything for me. The world is under the full control of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, everyone is like a wooden doll in the hands of a puppet master. Hare Krishna, thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. This is Bhagavata's statement actually. World in the hand of puppet master. This is a statement of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right. Hare Krishna. So we are all like that. So this particular purport that we just read now, it has a very heavy statement. The statement says that the mind actually is meant to think about Krishna. Man mana bhav mad bhakto. Maya sakta mana partha. Yogam yunjan madashraya. Mayeva mana adatsa. May buddhim niveshya. So mind is supposed to get engaged with Krishna. Even Shankaracharya in his Guru Ashtakam, Shariram Swarupam Dharava Kalatram Yasascharu Chitram Dhanam Merutulyam Manaschena Lagnam Gurur Angri Padme Tatakim 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 Tatakim. So this is Guru Ashtakam first verse. So he says Manaschena Lagnam Gurur Angri Padme. The mind should get married to the lotus feet of spiritual master. Why? Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. What is there in the lotus feet of spiritual master? It's only bhakti. Yes, it is bhakti sadma. It's a resting place of bhakti. And what does Guru do? Guru gets a disciple married to Krishna. In the Ramayana, we see the section of Janaka Maharaj marrying Mother Sita to Lord Ramachandra. And that particular section, Acharyas explain, is the jiva getting married to the Lord. Janaka is the Guru. Because Krishna glorifies Janaka as an ideal example. Loka sangrahevayam astitau janakadayah. So Krishna glorifies Janak Maharaj, right? So yes. So Janaka is the guru who marries Jiva to Krishna. So mind is actually meant to marry Krishna and serve Krishna. Or rather, mind is the wife of Krishna. But leaving the husband, if the wife is going to somebody else for pleasure, such a lady is considered to be prostitute. That is why that heavy statement is made. Yeah. Sridhar Swami, he's the original commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's Bhavartha Deepika. And even Vallabh Bhatt went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and told, he was first of all went to all Vaishnavas and told, I want to read my commentary. I want you to read my commentary. Rather, I will read and you sit and listen. I'll show my commentary on Bhagavatam. So all Vaishnavas, they all ran in different directions. They tried to skip. Prabhu, I have seva. Prabhu, Mahaprabhu has called me. So like, Prabhu, I have to do my chanting, my rounds are remaining. Like that, all devotees, they just, avoided him. Gadadhar Pandit was very soft-hearted. He couldn't avoid him. He ended up listening to the commentary. But he went to Mahaprabhu and he said that I have written a commentary better than Sridhar Swami. So that time even Mahaprabhu says the same thing. He says, one who does not follow the Swami is a prostitute. And here the context was one who doesn't follow the commentary of Sridhar Swami and is speculating something else is a prostitute. We don't follow the Swami. Leave the Swami, you become prostitute. So our Swamis, Krishna is our Swami, Guru is our Swami, right? Srimad Bhagavatam is also our Madeka Sango, Madananda, Madbhagya. Bhagavatam is glorified by different names. Madeka Bandho Matsangi, Madguno Mad Maha Dhanaha, Madananda Se Sarvatma. Yes. So Bhagavatam is described in different ways. So Madeka Sango. Madeka Bandho is my best friend. Mat Sangi, I always carry Bhagavatam with me. Sangi means we are associates. Right? True. So once there was a brahmachari class going on, and His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj was giving the class. So after the class, one of the brahmacharis got up and asked a question. This was many years back in our ashram where I was there. He asked a question that Maharaj, sometimes we feel a lot of lust in our heart. We feel it is difficult to overcome that lust, and one feels like leaving the ashram and going back to the material world. What to do at that time, Maharaj? So Maharaj said, you should get married. And this brahmachari got the shock of his life. He was trying to explain, no Maharaj, I don't want to marry, I want to continue this wonderful life, but such kind of thoughts come to my mind, that's why I'm asking you. Maharaj said you should get married. And now this brahmachari's face became very small. There was a silence, everybody shocked. Then Maharaj told all the brahmacharis sitting there, in fact, you all should get married. So everybody was in a shock. My God, this is supposed to be a brahmachari class to inspire the brahmacharis to go towards sannyas. What's happening here? Something else is happening. Then Maharaj said, everybody should get married. Not just brahmachari, everybody should get married. This was like, my God, there is no use of brahmachari ashram, no varnashram. People were all speculating because they didn't know what to do. And then Maharaj explained that everybody should get married to Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? And even a brahmachari that way is married. Brahmachari means what? Brahmascharati iti brahmachari. Somebody who is constantly haunted by the transcendental sound vibration is called as a brahmachari. Right? And that way we are all supposed to be brahmacharis. Brahmachari. There is Vanaprastha brahmachari, Sannyas brahmachari, Gruhastha brahmachari, Brahmacharini brahmachari. Yes. So everybody is supposed to be brahmachari. Means haunted by this transcendental sound of Srimad Bhagavatam. The message of Bhagavatam, the message of Godhead. Prabhupada wrote this amazing book. Yes, that should keep ringing in our minds and heart. That is proper. Right. That's the whole point. Any questions? Yes. Meenu Mataji and Manjir Leela Mataji, you have questions or you lifted your hands to, okay, to read. Okay. Nice. Who has I'm not able to find out who has question, who is raised hand to read. So if possible, devotees can also raise their hand legs. Okay, fine. Dhyamira Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhuji, wonderful class you gave. I wanted to ask you a question because you gave the pastimes of Sri Krishna and Arjuna on the chariot, where Krishna told Arjuna to exit first because he was actually keeping the chariot together. So my question is, when someone is in a critical health condition where they're required to be revived, either by reviving the heartbeat or if there's a transplant of an organ, in these scenarios, does it mean that it's only by the mercy of the Lord that they're living? Because there could be chances where these revivals don't work. Is that an understanding correct? When their material body is failing, that's similar to like the chariots kind of failing. So the presence of the Lord is still the mercy of the Lord if they still survive or not. Is that a
Yes.
correct
Yes.
understanding?
Yeah. We need to understand that there are immediate causes for the revival or death of that person. There is a remote causes. For immediate causes, okay, the instruments saved his life, or doctors saved his life, or doctors and instruments didn't do their job properly. Immediate causes. Remote causes, oh, this person's wife did not give him proper food. She was giving him food that was not proper. Or this guy he himself had very bad eating habits, because of which he is suffering the fate that he is in. This is also a cause. They are remote causes. But ultimate cause is Krishna always. Sarva Karana Karanam. Yeah, that's why they say, Mare Krishna Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. If Krishna wants to protect someone, nobody can kill him. And if Krishna wants someone to leave, then nobody can protect him. Balasya neha sharanam pitaro nrsimha nartasya changadam ajjati ujjato no. Taptasya tat pratividhi yadihanja sheshtas tavad vibhotanubhritam yadupekshitanam. That's the famous verse of Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, wherein he says that a child cannot be protected by parents, a strong boat cannot protect the passengers, a doctor, a very qualified doctor, cannot protect his patients if Krishna has given up on them. So he is the ultimate cause. And if Krishna is protecting someone, then despite these three people, it may be a very weak boat with a lot of holes, but if Krishna is desiring to protect them, he can protect. And protection, or for a devotee, the protection principle is much deeper. Krishna not just protects the devotee's body. If he is not protecting the devotee's body, he protects the devotee's bhakti. Yoga kshemam vahamyam. He has protected their bhakti, he has saved the bhakti, and whatever bhakti is remaining, the person can continue in the next life. And Krishna facilitates that. And if somebody is perfected one's life, Krishna comes to take. Krishna comes as death. Please come, this so-called apparent death is not inauspicious. I have come to take you. Right? Yeah, it's true. Krishna is the ultimate cause. Okay, principle. Thank you. There are some questions in the chat which I would like to go around. Is soul and spirit same? Yes. Prabhuji, if our karmic cycle impacts us, then how Krishna influences it? We need to understand kala karma gunadino dehoyam pancha bhautikaha. The moment we have accepted a body of 5 modes, we will be controlled by these 3 elements. Immediately by modes, our karma, and kala and karma, these 2 are controlled by an energy of Krishna called as kala, time factor. Because the time factor controls the modes, and the time factor, when it's ripened, it gives certain fruits. Karmas are compared to fruits. Prarabdha, aprarabdha. Aprarabdha is that which is coming, that is unripe fruit. But the fruit ripens, then you get it on your table. You have to eat it. Right? So aprarabdha phalam. So these are there. But ultimately there is, Kala is also controlled by Krishna. Kalosmyaham, he says. I am time, or rather I control the time. So Krishna is that way the ultimate controller there also. So if for a devotee, the way we should perceive it, if we are getting something good, we should always understand we never deserved it in first place. Krishna has given this good circumstances so that we intensify bhakti. And if we get something bad in our life, we should understand that I deserved much worse. But Krishna has reduced the intensity of the karma just so that we can become serious in bhakti. Either ways, good or bad karma, they're both given to us to inspire us to intensify our devotional service. That's the root cause. Every woman has dignity. Why do people use the term prostitute? You are so scholar, but you too in your Siddhibat show use this term. Okay, it's a good question. We need to understand that even prostitute contextually is something that is misused or used, or we don't know, it changes. But the context in which this term is used is very important to know. Prostitution is a principle where a person is giving up one's master and going to somebody else. That is heavily condemned. Giving up the Swami and taking shelter, or rather going to enjoy with someone else. That is termed as prostitution. Now, prostitute as a profession, if you will see the first canto, 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, where there are prostitutes who are coming to offer gifts and glorify Krishna. They are there in Dwarka. But we need to understand that this word prostitute changes with time, place, circumstances. Not everybody may be a commercial sex worker taking money for having sex. In Vedic times, those who serve food and drinks in the hotels, they are also called as prostitutes. They are called as Vaishya. Somebody who are public dancers, public dramatic performers, they are also called as Vaishyas. So anytime we call Vaishya, Vaishya doesn't mean that you are a commercial sex worker. Now, if somebody is forced into this particular profession, that doesn't mean that that person is looked down upon. We respect everybody. Yes, we respect everybody. But the principle of prostitution that is condemned in the Shastra is the principle where one is giving up Krishna to go after Maya. That is something that is condemned. So do not be a prostitute, be a chaste woman. Everybody is respected on a spiritual platform. But a woman who is chaste commands the maximum respect. The woman who is chaste to her husband, chaste to the principles, such a woman will be very powerful. We know the story of Satyavan Savitri, how she brought her husband from death back to life. We know this power of Anasuya Devi. She controlled the Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all three of them together with her chastity. So we glorify the principle of chastity. And we condemn the principle of prostitution. Of course, somebody is forcefully into prostitution, forced because of circumstances of life. We cannot judge anyone. We don't know what they have gone through. So we are not criticizing prostitutes here. We are condemning the principle of prostitution for a devotee. Even Maitreya Rishi, what does he say? Maitreya Rishi says, Tathapi kirtayami anga yatamati yata shrutam kirtim harin swam satkartum giram anyabhidasati. Asati means what? Prostitute. My tongue is meant to glorify Krishna. So Tathapi kirtayami. Let me do kirtan. Otherwise I will talk some nonsense. That is principle of prostitution. So I hope Rashmi Kumariji, you are clear. We are not condemning prostitutes. We are condemning prostitution. The principle that is mentioned here. Leaving Swami and going somewhere else. Okay. Okay. We will need to start. This kind of setup, one thing that happens is I don't see the time. I'll take care of that. श्री Srila Prabhupada की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की